Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T. Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Can't wait for you to meet Miss T. She is the T in T.
Hello and welcome back. I have something really exciting to share with you. I'm still investigating and growing in the study of it, but I thought that now would be a good time to just start scratching the surface of it with you so that once the full expression of this is all documented in my book. Yes, I've written a book and I've written a book for you. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to have a copy. But once it's done, this will give you the appetizer for what this particular chapter is talking about. Now, I will give you this light disclaimer. It is heavy in quantum mechanics, but not in a way that you don't get it. So I promise you I'll package it in a way that you can digest it. And I will not pretend like I'm a quantum physicist. I am not. I am just someone with a deep appreciation for this kind of quantum study. So I want to start with the fact that the book I've written is all about being seen, and the importance of people being seen, but also you seeing you. And when I was getting into this chapter, it's all about particles and superposition and the visibility of things and what happens with, in Schrodinger's cat, that whole theory, or the Copenhagen, theory. There's a number of different studies around this. So I wanted to just present it to you just so that you can kind of chew on it a little bit and see where you're already doing this. Just because the questions I get sometimes is like, how do I get success? How do I keep positioning myself for success? And I think some people are looking at an inward answer from an outward position. Success is not around you. Success is inside of you. And I believe that every person is born with everything they need to succeed. It's just the different environments that you are placed in, the different situations, good or bad, that you're placed in, that put a demand on the things that are in you. Now, can you grow and learn new things and shapeshift? Sure you can, but the core of what will make you your wild, destined success, it really already is woven into the fiber of your being. And so that's kind of where I wanted to go today. So you're all these things at the same time. So for example, like a quarter, if you have a quarter, on one side it's heads, the other side it's tails, right? This is one of the examples it gives in the physics study. The quarter is the quarter. It's got heads, it's got tails. It's got success, it's got failure. But ultimately it exists as these two things at the same time. Now, what determines how the quarter shows up, either heads or tails, is once you look. Once it's flipped, it lands, you look. That's how you know, oh, okay, the quarter today is showing up as heads. Or the quarter today is showing up as fail. Or the person is showing up a success today. The person is showing up as a fail. And then just, if I could caveat a little bit, the failure is never really failure as long as you learn from it. It should point you back to success. It should build something in you that causes you to be stronger in your courage, confidence, education, training, and development. So really, you are born with everything in you that you need to achieve the greatest destiny that you are designed for. What you look for, or the act of looking for it, it forces nature's hand. Now let me explain that to you. Let's say, for instance, you have a desire to be an athlete. It's not until you start looking for you to be the athlete that things start to align for your athleticism to develop. Let's say, for instance, you are, a student. It's not until you start looking at you in the math class that you can show up as a mathematician on whatever part of the spectrum that is. But the ability to be someone who does math it's already in you and it's been in you since you were born. Whoever it is that you're desiring to be, to become in whatever season of life you're in, I promise you this, that person is already in you. That's why you can see it when you dream about it, when you think about it, when you imagine it, you can already see it because it already is in you. You just need to look for that person. And when you look for that person in you, you're giving it the permission to be expressed through you. And most often people can look for the negative, which is why the negative is amplified. But if you're looking for the positive, like just the act of looking will force it to become. And so if you've spent any time around me listening to anything that I've taught or lived, I will tell you, you got to write this stuff down, or you got to make a vision board, cut out some pictures, something, so the act of looking forces it to become. You have success and failure. You have difficulty and ease. You have intelligence and lack of intelligence in a number of different areas already in you. It's what you look for. It's not until you look for it that you give it permission to become. Now, let me explain this to you as I was, doing my quantum studies. If you do any level of research or investigation, the Copenhagen interpretation, I just want to give you this definition just so you can kind of see what I'm saying. It's a system of particles that don't have a definite property until it's measured, and the act of measuring it changes the system as a whole. So when I say get the vision board made, write the stuff down, that's the act of measuring the dream, the goal. It's the act of putting it into bits, bytes so you could see it, and then that forces it to become. Looking for it changes the visibility of it and the manifestation of it. Now, you live in a world and you live in a time where everything is demanding you to look at me. Look at me. Look at me. And because we are forced to look at the same things, again, I say this all the algorithms, social media, I say this often. Those things are dictated by a trend that's sniffed out by something that is artificial, which is why you see people dressing the same. You see hairstyles the same. You see eyelashes everywhere. No offense to anybody who does that. I think it's beautiful and you rock your thing. But I'm just saying, you see commonality in a lot of different things because what everybody is looking at is the same and it's determined by something artificial, which is why I choose not to participate. But my goal for you is to look inside of you first. Find the best version of you. Jot it down, make a list, put it on paper. And if you can find pieces of it in visual form, I'm a very visual person. If I could see it, I could be it, and I can do it. That's just how I am. But if you're like me, you need some visual representation of it. Before I cut my hair, and I've had long hair my entire life, I could see myself first with short hair, but I couldn't identify the actual cut or the style. So I had to pull about 15 or 16 different pictures of me, or just not of me, but of these short hairstyles. And most of them were from a completely different time and era. They weren't short hairstyles of today. They were short hairstyles from like 40, 50 years ago. But it was the look that I kept seeing inside of myself. And so once I got these pictures, I just kept looking at them, And I show my hairstyle. So I'm looking at it, look at this. And then I entered into a season where I had the courage to take the step and do the cut. But it wasn't until I could see it that I could actually share the vision and then manifest the vision. And I'll tell you this, since I made that one change in my image and my appearance, like all sorts of things have changed for the good. So that one step of seeing myself inside of myself and then having the visual representation of it and looking at it, and then the manifestation of it caused, all sorts of heaven to break loose in my life as a result. But I'm sharing this with you by way of example. Looking for it changes the visibility of it, which then contributes to the manifestation of it. Most often people have vague dreams, so they get vague results. You say, I want to be rich. What does that mean? Like, really, what does that mean? What is rich to you? Do you even know what rich is to you? I want to be a millionaire. Do you know that there's so many numbers in between millionaire and billionaire? Like, you want 101 million, you want 102 million, you want 3 million, you want 5 million, you want 10 million, you want 20 million, you want 100 million, you want 99.99.999.9 million. Like, what is rich to you? What is millionaire to you? Be very intentional about being specific. Most people don't do that. I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. Well, guess what? You can't have what you can't see. You can't have what you're specifically looking for. And you think there's something wrong with how you're working, something wrong with your ideas. No, it's not. It's that you're vague and you're not looking for something that's concrete, clear, and visible to you so that it has the potential to manifest itself. So I'm giving you all this science and all these, this information and education based on experience. It wasn't until I said, I want, for example, and I'm just throwing out examples, I want $5 million, and here's the plan for $5 million. And this is what T with $5 million actually looks like. This is how she's showing up in the world. This is how she talks. And as a result of her getting this $5 million, here's the different things that she is able to acquire. These are the successes that are attached to that, because everybody can't make $5 million. Everybody can't receive $5 million. That's where I got the teaching of, you got $5 million, but you're going to put it in your little local bank account? Like, they don't handle that volume of money. You need a bank with a different bank. So again, having that understanding gave me steps. Having that specificity gave me steps to change some things so I could even be prepared for this thing to manifest. So I'm telling you, everything you need, the person that you want, that you seek, that you're imagining to become, it's already in you. You got to look at it. And then when you look at it, document it so that you can keep looking at it, because everything around you is going to demand that you look in a different direction, or that you try to look like somebody else, or that you don't even go in the, for this stuff because, it's hard and you want to protect yourself from being a failure. Well, the failure is already in you. That is the failure, is that you don't even look for it and then go for it. That's the failure. That's the real failure, is that you didn't even try. You didn't even look. You won't even see. So anyhow, as I'm studying this quantum mechanics, there's something that jumped out to me. There's a term called superposition. And a superposition is a system in which all of its allowable states simultaneously exist until an observer forces it to take one state or another. Listen, you will always have in this life the choice to take one state or another. But both states, all states, exist in you. So who you become and how soon you get there and the trajectory of it, that is not up to anybody in the world or the environments or your thinking or your level of education. It is all boiled down to one thing: your choice. So let me read that again. Superposition, because you really are in the superposition. A system is in all of its allowable states simultaneously until an observer forces it to take one state or another. So you get to choose which state of you that you flow in. You the success, you the failure, you the lazy person, you the procrastinator. You have all the power, baby. And I think sometimes, I am a Christian and I run in Christian circles, and sometimes I hear things like, whatever God allows, or I'm just waiting on God. Or, and again, there are times and seasons for things as he's preparing you, building you, growing you, and changing you. And I'm with all of that. I'm for it. I practice it. I live it like a mad, crazy, amazing woman every day. I love it. But he also gave you freedom of choice. You really genuinely get to choose. You get to pick. I choose this version of me. And then once you make that choice, you do whatever you got to do to walk out the steps of that. Ultimately, every day, like in quantum physics, these particles are small and they're constantly moving. Everything that you see around you is made up of a collection of particles that are moving in cadence with each other that creates a density that causes something to be firm and built on. But particles, everything is made up of that. And so even at the molecular level, you can make the decision about your life. You can make the decision about pursuing the destiny that you were prescribed to have. You get to make the decision in the little things and the greater things, knowing that when you make decisions in the little things and it's positive, it leads you to the greater positive things. If you make decisions in the little things and they're negative, like I want to sleep in another hour, well, it may take you longer to get to this other thing. Or I want to not pay my bills. In fact, I just want to eat out and go shopping, but I don't want the responsibility of paying my bills. Well, a broke you is going to present itself. A homeless you might present itself. You're choosing the state even in your little decision making. And so I'm gifting you this information, this education with the hope that it's causing you to think differently about you. There isn't really truly anything exteriorly that could stop you from being you. It's the decision that you make that gives whatever the power to control the state of you through observation. It's not education. It's what do you see when you look at you? What do you see when you look for the next version of you? What do you see? What are you looking for? What are you giving your attention to? Is it the disciplined you that's living a lifestyle of abundance and wealth and health for you and your family? Do you see that? Can you see that? Or is it the you that's struggling every single month because that's how it's always been, and that's how it was for your mom, and that's how it was for everybody that came around you, and that's how it is for all the other people that you connect with, is a constant state of struggle? Is that who you see when you look for you? Ultimately, this is all up to you. Don't be mad at me for saying that. Sometimes I say this stuff and people be, they be like, Miss T, this happened to me and this happened to me. And, I know bad things happen to good people. But it doesn't mean the bad things get to control the outcome of good people's lives. I don't think anything should have that kind of power over you and the generations that come after you. I think that you can be daring and make decisions from millisecond to millisecond that cause you to win in life. Because again, the best and the worst, it exists at the same time in you. It's just which one do you look to? Which one gets your attention? Which one gets most of your attention? And that's the one that will continue to become. They'll get stronger and bigger and stronger and deeper in you. But when you look to the other thing, the better thing, the higher thing, very rarely will you see me watching the ground when I move and navigate. I'm always looking up. Where you look, the trajectory and your velocity will align with that. Let me say that again. Whichever direction you look, your trajectory and your velocity will align with that. So if you're always looking for the highest, best, better you, trajectory and velocity will align with that. So, I can encourage you to go study some quantum physics. I think that, that's good to have that under your belt. But my real suggestion is, who are you looking for when you think about yourself? Which part of you, which one of you, because I won't say part because it's not part, it's a holistic situation. Which you are you looking for when you look for the best you? Who do you really want to show up in this world? And how plain and clear have you made that for yourself? And what decisions are you making from moment to moment that cause you to get closer to that person? And in which direction is your gaze? Is it down? Is it behind you? That's your past. You can't do anything with that. Or is it up and onward and ahead? Because that determines your trajectory. The longer the gaze, the faster the pace, baby. So, I'll say this again, and you can hashtag it all you want, but I really want you to live it. You are the architect of your life. No thing and no person gets the power to dictate the greatness that you become. So today I'm asking you to look for who you want to show up. Gaze in the direction that you want to go. And give yourself every visual reference you need to stay targeted so that person has the opportunity to show up in this world and everything that comes with it. All the stuff, all the things, all the relationships, all the love, all the peace. So that's my encouragement for you today. And then Google superposition. It's so cool. Quantum mechanics. I love this stuff. Do a little study for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Grow for yourself. And then leave a note in the chat if it meant something to you, if it helped you with this, something you were wrestling with. I want to know. I want to know if I'm helping you. And if you find that this is going to help somebody else, share it, like it. And if you haven't done so already, you little God bless it, subscribe to this thing. I'm always doing these little podcasts trying to help folks out. Now you got to subscribe. Okay, thank you for tuning in to Sweet Tea Time. And make sure that you're looking for the best you, and then share who's showing up in the world so we can celebrate you. I'll see you again soon.